Doing week 11 in college football here at SBR Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We're talking right now with returning guest Troy West from allplayswin.com. Troy West from allplayswin.com. And I don't know if all his plays really win all the time, but I know all his plays won with us last week. Troy West, thanks for coming back.
Hey, I appreciate it, Pete. You know, I hope some of the viewers are able to get on what we thought was the game of the year. Washington +4, they win the game outright by 8 points. You know, close for a while, but, you know, if you watch that game on ESPN last Friday night, Washington completely outplayed Cal.
Nope.
Washington dominated the football game. Game of the year, a lot of our clients were big on it. We felt great about it. They won the game outright. And then Seattle comes back on Sunday and takes care of Minnesota by double digits. So great weekend for us. We had a great card last night with the Oklahoma City Thunder -8.5 over Toronto, winning by 20 points. So we're winning a lot of games right now. It's a good time to be on board with us.
Yeah. Hey, I'll tell you what. I definitely tailed you. I took Washington. I sold them all the way up to -1 and then some at -3 at like huge plus odds, and it cashed. So I personally want to thank you, Troy West.
Good weekend for us. Really
right. I definitely appreciate it. All right, so Utah at Washington is the college game you've picked this week. You picked the Washington game again, but maybe you have a great read on this team. And this is a curious line. Washington is a 1.5-point home underdog against Utah, but Washington has beaten Oregon State and Stanford outright at home. Now, Utah, of course, they were off of a 2. Their offense exploded the past 2 weeks at home against maybe some suspect defenses. You know, I'm not exactly sure why Washington is a home dog here. Maybe you can fill us in.
I'm trying to figure it out myself, and I don't know if Vegas made a big mistake in this one or if this is the trap game of the year, but I'm looking at this game on paper not only as a guy that follows the Pac-12 conference, but Utah has not won a game on the road. And as a matter of fact, not only have they not won a game on the road, they haven't even been tested on the road. They lost at Arizona State 37-7. They've lost at UCLA. They've lost at Utah State. You know, they've lost at Oregon State. So I'm just confused how a Utah team coming all the way across to the West Coast on Saturday night, playing at CenturyLink Field, can be favored against the Washington team who's playing pretty darn good football. They get a big win on the road against Cal. They get the win at home against, like you said, Oregon State. They've won at home against Stanford. They played USC competitive at home. I think it's going to be Washington's got to win this football game. This is a team that's driven to go 8-4. They're at 5-4 right now, but they got Colorado and Washington State, their last 2 games that are gimme games. This is their last challenge of the season. Washington wins this football game Saturday night in Seattle. Trust me, Pete. This is a winner. Washington wins this football game.
All right, I will say this. This Washington play seems a lot more like a good play than your play against Cal. I mean, at Cal, they were a relatively small road underdog. Here, they're a home underdog, and so that makes me a little bit nervous. Like maybe, I mean, the line is set here for a reason. Do you think it's all because of just Utah's explosion on offense the past 2 games?
I would think that's what Vegas is looking at, but I don't know if they're looking at the quality of opponents that Utah's played. They beat a Washington State team who was completely dismantled, and they beat Cal at home, and Cal can't play on the road. I'm very, very confused by this line, Pete. I really think Washington wins this game at home. I think it's a game they have to win. They're going to be up for it. The team's got so much momentum going into it. I can't see Utah, who's still sitting at 5-4 with not a whole lot to play for other than pride at this point. I think this is a no-brainer to go with Washington. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe I'm foolish. Maybe I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. But on paper and watching this team play the last few weeks, this is a home winner Saturday night. It's a tough place to play. It's a really, really great atmosphere there at CenturyLink Field. The Seattle Seahawks show that as well. Haven't lost the game at home. So this is to me is Washington.
Yeah, I mean Utah's not done well on the road either this year, which is not a surprise. Maybe it's one of those things where people think like after you go on the road and get like a big road win, a lot of times you come back home and then maybe there's a letdown. You have like low energy, but I don't know. I'm thinking Washington's the bet here as well. We'll see how it turns out, Troy. Thanks.